you can do the same thing with this 19-day range that you've been in with Bitcoin, right? You can call this your initial break of structure. You can call this your secondary or your primary break, right? So your initial A wave, your initial B wave. You can call this your small a or secondary break of structure. You can call this your secondary B wave. And so one could say that right here you have your third break, okay? Your pivot, right? Or your third flat correction, or is if this is a zigzag, or your third pair of AB basing right here. So you should be looking for a move up from here, okay? And you do have some bullish divergence here. Look at this, okay? Look at this. This is a low, and this is an even or lower low here, okay? Here on the charts, you have confirmed bullish divergence. You have a higher low on the hourly time frame. It should break up. Hello everyone, my name is Dean, and let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is September 5th, 2023, and we are on day 19 of consolidation, okay? Day 19 of consolidation. It is very, very challenging, very frustrating, but the best thing to do, in my opinion, in these scenarios is to take a step back, take stock of what's happened and what's more likely than not to happen, and then prepare for that outcome. That's pretty much it. So that's what we're going to do today. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get started on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Okay, and as I said in the intro, day 19, as you can see, of this consolidation, okay, we were for about 50 days, if you can believe it, in the $30,000 zone, and we lost it, okay, and we came to this $25,000 zone. We have since been in the 25K zone for about 19 days, okay? It's about to be 20 days at the close of this daily candle, okay? And the question is, what's the next big move? Is it a continuation to the downside, right? Is this an intrawave correction? Should we expect this range to break to the downside, or should we expect this range to finally break back up? Okay, we've answered that before on this channel. I'm not going to regurgitate all of the analysis, but TLDR, we expect us a move to the upside, just given the fact that we are on support of this range and on support of a larger range. So we're on support of this 20-day range, 19-day range, however you want to put it. And if you zoom out, we are on a larger support of this range. Okay, so you, statistically speaking, wouldn't expect a breakdown of support. Okay, statistically speaking, you want to long support, you expect a bounce off of support, especially a long-standing support. This is 19 days. The larger range is approximately 160 days, and you could say it's even longer because the resistance of this inverse head and shoulders is now our new support. And so that you can add 300 or so days to it. So you could say Bitcoin is currently on 460-day support, and it's within a smaller range on a 19-day support range. So statistically speaking, again, there is no definite, for sure analysis, but statistically speaking, and just given the broad brushstroke analysis, we're more likely than not to move up within this range, okay? And our first target is going to be, let's zoom out for that. Our first target, look, it depends on what time frame we're talking about, but the first major resistance is going to be 32K. Okay, that's easy. 32K has been resistance for a long time. Okay, 32K was support of this range right here that broke down for the bear market, and 32K was resistance of this mini range right here, 160-day mini range. So quite naturally, the next major resistance is going to be $32,000, and so that's why I've got the orange line up there, okay? Now, how fast will that happen? I don't know. I really don't. But when we do run, let me say this, I expect us to move a lot faster than most people would think. Yeah? We cover ground quite quickly in impulsive price action, and up until now, we haven't yet been in pure impulsive price action. Yes, since the beginning of the calendar year, Bitcoin's up about 60%, but this is all impulsive in the context of a resistance, right? A larger resistance. We're underneath that 32K resistance, so all the price action is a bit muted, okay? These consolidations take a lot longer than usual, all that stuff. Okay, especially for altcoins. Altcoins haven't even enjoyed, by and large, this kind of price action. But for Bitcoin, once we start heading to 32K, and especially once we break 32K, I expect fireworks. I've done that analysis before. I'm not going to rehash it in detail, but that's essentially my outlook on the market. Now, let's, as usual, look at the DXY. Okay, why hasn't Bitcoin moved until now to the upside? Why have we been sideways for the past 19 days? Why did we even break down from the $30,000 range? It's because of the US dollar. Okay, the US dollar has been at this resistance for quite some time. Okay, ever since mid-August, when we first hit this resistance. Actually, you could say beginning of August, right? We've been dancing on resistance, okay? At resistance, on resistance, wicking above it. And until and unless we lose this level, nothing is going to happen in crypto. Nothing is really going to happen in stocks. Nothing of substance, okay? So we want to look at the DXY. We want to see a loss of this resistance right here. Okay, and so on the smaller time frame, you can see on a larger time frame what's going on. You have this range, about 160 days up until this point, 180 days maybe, if you mark it until present day, something like that, right? It's a long enough range, and you can see every time we hit support, we moved up, support, we moved up, resistance, we moved down, resistance, we have yet to move down. Now, as any range, you can wick above it. A range doesn't have to be picture perfect. The second you hit resistance, you break down. The second you hit support, you break up. No, you can wick, right? You can wick. You can dance below support. You can dance above resistance, and this is what we're seeing here. And so, essentially, what we want to do is pay attention on the smaller time frames to the price action on the US dollar currency index to see if we can't observe any distributive signals. Right? Distributive signals are signals of distribution whereby the price action is breaking down. Okay? And so what I'm seeing and what I saw before was this wick right here, okay, as being the beginning of distribution, but that has since been disproven given what's come next. So I would say that if anything, our distribution starts here. Okay, that's the most optimistic sort of read of this distribution range or purported distributive range, right? That the breakdown starts here. We get a swing failure pattern right here. And then that's the, so I would count this as my initial break of structure. That's my secondary break. So that's my first degree of AB basing. That's my first pair of flat corrections, okay? And then I would say this is my second pair right here, okay? Do you see that? I would say, again, let me just count that again. This is my first break of structure right here. And this is my first counter. This is my second break of structure. This is my second counter. Perhaps something like this, okay, at this point would complete it. That's how I'm seeing this range. I'm seeing 2 degrees of AB basing. I have yet to see a pivot. Is the pivot going to be small or is it going to be large? We don't know. They occur in many different uh, shapes, sizes, and trends, but I see 2 degrees of AB basing. We need a third for this to be complete. What the pivot's going to look like, again, we don't know. But judging by our momentum indicator, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator, okay, on the 4-hourly time frame, we have strong bearish divergence here, okay? Strong bearish divergence whereby this is a top and this is another top. Clearly, you're making a higher high here. On the momentum indicator, you have even highs. That strong bearish divergence, it's confirmed because the K and D lines are crossed. I do expect at this point for us to at least put in a move down. Again, because I'm counting only 2 degrees of AB basing, I think that we get one more move up from this pivot before completing the move. That's just my best read on it now. But that move down should be enough to get us started in crypto to go to the upside. So even though it's not all finished, we should still have on the smaller time frame. Now let's jump down to the hourly time frame. We should still have we'll see on the hourly time frame, we're pretty much down into oversold territory. We can continue. I'm not exactly sure. Let's go on a 15. Yeah, we can continue. Okay. So when the DXY opens up again in about an hour, would not be surprised if this continued here and then we got that move like this, okay? So it's tough to read these things, guys. Anybody who's saying, oh yeah, should be able to read it. No, it's corrective price action. By definition, it's capricious. By definition, it is very unpredictable. So you just try your best and, you give it your best read and you go from there. But on the higher time frames, which I think are more reliable, right? Given that this is so unpredictable, on the higher time frames, we're still at resistance. We're still dancing at and around resistance, okay? We haven't made a higher high, right? If you look at this entire trend, this entire range, you have not made a higher high in the range and you're still playing at these resistance levels. So we still should expect a move down. And again, you're seeing bearish divergence on even the daily time frame. Look at this. It's not confirmed yet, but look at this. Okay, actually you do have some confirmed bearish divergence, but it hasn't played out. Look, the price action for quite some time in the DXY has been going up. The momentum has been steady or going down. If these K and D lines cross, we will have confirmed bearish divergence right here, right? Because we continue to go up, yet the momentum is going down. So it should be sooner than later, especially judging by Bitcoin's price action that we just saw, right? We're likely to get a move up from here, okay? And I don't know that we've done this, but let's end the video by just looking on the small time frames with Bitcoin, okay? Just like we just read, a distribution range, right? The Wyckoff distribution range, or if you want to call it 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot in Elliott wave theory, you can do the same thing with this 19-day range that you've been in with Bitcoin, right? You can call this your initial break of structure. You can call this your secondary or your primary break, right? So your initial A wave, your initial B wave. You can call this your small a or secondary break of structure. You can call this your secondary B wave. And so one could say that right here you have your third break, okay? Your pivot, right? Or your third flat correction, or if this is a zigzag, or your third pair of AB basing right here. So you should be looking for a move up from here, okay? And you do have some bullish divergence here. Look at this. Okay, look at this. This is a low, and this is an even or lower low here. Okay, here on the charts you have confirmed bullish divergence. You have a higher low on the hourly time frame. It should break up. Okay, and just by our count of these corrective patterns, right? Again, it's not perfect. It's not an accurate. It's not an exact science, right? Rather, and it is tough. It's capricious. It's unpredictable. But we do our best, given this strong bullish divergence, given the count of 2 degrees of AB basing, and given the fact that this is likely a pivot of some sort, right? If we throw our Fibonacci retracement levels from the bottom here to the top here, right? We easily have a nice zigzag here for the pivot. Do you see that? So you went up, and then you retraced all the way back down to the phi ratio. So you have a completed corrective pattern that's of this zigzag variety, right? A zigzag is 5 waves up and 3 waves down. So this could be a consolidation, and this can be a legitimate move up. So this is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. On Bitcoin's chart, it's telling me with the bullish divergence that we're likely to get a move, and we're in the pivot phase. So given that, given what I'm seeing on the DXY, in the DXY, given what I'm seeing in altcoins, let's just pull one or two as an example. Let's pull the most popular Ethereum. You can see the same thing in Ethereum, okay? And you can do this count yourselves. But in Ethereum, I'm seeing my first break of structure, my first B wave, right? So let's call that big A, big B. Second break of structure, let's call that small a. This is clearly small b. So 2 pairs. You see that? It's all about pairs. And as I always say, everything corrective is typically in phases of 3, right? There are 3 waves to each of these moves, and you need 3 sets of these corrective waves, these corrective pairs, to complete a range, okay? As far as Elliott wave theory goes. And here again is a pivot, right? You go up and you come right back down. So for me, I'm reading this as a completed 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot, right? First degree, second degree, and here's my pivot, a flat correction. And so here I'm starting to count my impulse, okay? So I like this read. I think a breakout is closer than not, okay? Let's look at one last one. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's look at something that's maybe not as a high cap. Let's see. Let's look at synthetics, maybe. Okay, let's look at synthetics. All right, so synthetics on the hourly time frame, right? This is my first break of structure targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. I like that. Okay, and this is my subsequent, what's my subsequent B wave? This is a little tricky. Let's see. I've got to read this extemporaneously. I would say that this is my break of structure. This is my first B wave. This is my secondary break of structure. This is my secondary B wave. Perhaps something like that. And then maybe my pivot is down here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. And so I'm looking at the start of my impulse here. Okay, this is again educated guessing, but again I'm just reading 2 degrees of AB basing. Whoops. And a pivot. Okay, this is, corrective wave, sort of, this is reading accumulation in Elliott wave theory using Ralph Nelson Elliott's theory of AB basing. So, and using my own research and developments on this theory and fleshing it out, because he never really fleshed it out in the nature of everything. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. This is why I'm bullish. I'm still bullish, and I'm expecting a move sooner than not. All right, that's it. Hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Take care.